All right, welcome to another episode of Live Feed on Spotify. Live Feed on Spotify is brought to you by thebullyexposed.com. Please be sure to donate to them, follow them on Instagram. All right, today we have another question from our good friend in Australia, T. What up, T? Hi to the family, especially my good friend Bree. You know who you are. Okay, today it's not really a question, but a statement, and I want to just quickly touch on the statement that T had to say. It's basically that, and I'm paraphrasing here, that there is an employee, he's a manager, who works where this person works, and he only hires young, beautiful women. And it's been alleged, we'll say that, it's been alleged that he took one of these women and kind of cornered her in the spot. Again, I'm paraphrasing, it might not be exactly like I'm saying it. And basically made her cry, right? We'll speak to the facts that he said. Cornered her in the spot and made her cry. Those are the facts, okay? And it's like, what can we do for a person like that? Well, first of all, I'm going to say I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a therapist. Anything I say is strictly for entertainment purposes only. And I'm also going to say that if you're not afraid to lose your job, I would go up to the person and I would ask them if you need me to fill out a statement for you, or anything of that nature of what occurred if you saw what was going on, or if you have any facts. Give the person advice. Write down things that happen. If you're allowed in your country or state, film without the knowledge of the person. There are some states in America that you can't do that. If your country or your state allows that, film without their knowledge. Get that filming down. It's very funny to me that I did that. So I'm telling you this. Not, most people will tell you things that they never did or that they're afraid to do. I was told by many people that they were going to get, that they were going to sue me because that's a breach of privacy of some type. You filmed me without my knowledge. Now, if I had lived in a state where that wasn't allowed, maybe they might be able to sue me. But because I lived in a state in America that allowed that, they couldn't touch me. And there still has been no lawsuit to this day. And we are talking about 2010 that this occurred. Because these people probably went to a lawyer and said, you know what you're doing in this video or in this soundbite is extremely bad and is against the law. You don't want this to come out. And so that's the reason why, and again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not giving you advice. That's the reason why even if I lived in a state where that wasn't allowed, I would have still done it. Because, they probably would have won in a case in a court of law, but they would have lost in the court of public opinion, because what they were doing was illegal, and they opened up themselves up to being charged with something illegal. So it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. That's the way I look at life. If you're not afraid to lose your job, help the person out. Write a statement for them. Look out for them. When you see this supervisor, or even if it's an employee that's currently every day sexually harassing them, watch out for them. Things, people don't want to understand this. And I say this all the time to kids. Now, this is an adult topic, but I'm going to still say it because it still applies to adults. When you hang of groups of 3 or more, you're more likely not to get bullied. So even though it's only one person that's really being sexually harassed, if that person is constantly with someone else, preferably 2 people, because 2 people can be bullied, another person, 3 people, the chances are very low. Can the bullying still occur? Sure, depending on how bold the bully is and how much the company is allowing him to get away with, how much control he has over it. It can still happen. But that would be my thing for you. If you don't want to lose your job, my suggestion then is to help her on the slide. Maybe get a phone number if you don't already have a phone number, and encourage her to be strong outside of work, if that's what you want to do. That helps a lot. At first, somebody being bullied may look at it as you being a pussy, excuse my language. Eventually, I think the person will come around and say, hey, at least they're helping me in some way. And that's appreciated. Believe me, I've been in that situation myself. And that's why I'm telling you that it is appreciated. Unfortunately, it sounds like this guy has a real strong hold on the business, and he's able to manipulate and do things like this and able to really get away with it. And that's very sad. But we can't give up. So just write everything that's going on. Record if you can. Be sure to get dates, who was there, times, where it happened, witnesses. I guess that's the best. That is the best thing to do, really. And record it. I mean, think about it, women. We cannot be afraid. You know that at certain times of the day you're going to be alone working. That's usually when he comes in and does this. Turn your phone on. We all have. If you don't want to get a phone, get a device that you can clip on you that will record. Do it. Do not be afraid. You can't be afraid, because the feeling of hopelessness that you feel by just allowing it to happen will eat away at you more than losing your job. Believe me. You lost your job because you did the right thing. It may hurt you financially. I'm not gonna argue that, but you will feel confident. You will feel better than losing your job because your boss didn't, you didn't finally accept whatever it was your boss wanted, right? And he terminates you. That's a worse feeling, trust me. And that's the way I approached bullying when I was being bullied. Now, what's the worst out of the two things that can happen to me? What is the worst? That I sit here and I allow him to punch me. You got to think of yourself in a boxing match. That I sit here, put my gloves down, and allow him to punch me till he punches me so much that I'm just going to say it, that I'm no longer alive, or I am alive, but I'm useless, I'm paralyzed, or whatever, or for me to fight back and still have my dignity and my pride and everything intact. That's what you have to think about. So I want to thank T from Australia for the advice. Please keep it up. And for all of you, I don't want to forget any of you that have given me questions, I appreciate it. I don't want to just come on here and talk about what's bugging me. I will do that a few times when things are strong enough and bugging me, but I don't want to do that all the time. I'd rather talk about what you have. Be strong. Be strong. Please share this with someone that you think that needs to hear it. Comment, let me know how I'm doing, whether it's good or bad. Don't worry about it. Like and share the channel with a friend. I really, really do appreciate it. Thanks. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.